Welcome to the Living Artist Podcast. I'm your host, Preston M. Smith. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Living Artist Podcast. I'm Preston M. Smith, at PMS Artwork everywhere on internet land and socials. I want to thank you for landing on this podcast. Whether you're a professional artist, just getting started in the art world, a collector of art, or just consider yourself a creative person, this podcast has something for you. I like to think of it as a fun way to rant and talk to other creative people about living the life of an artist, surviving and getting ahead in the art world, and enjoying your life. But most importantly, not waiting until you're dead to make it happen. All right, let's get started.
Hi everybody, this is your friend, Tony Roberts, and I'm here to tell you about the one thing. If you're not doing this one thing, then you need to start. What the hell? Alright, well I'm here to give you one tip, the one tip you'll need to know. Okay, well, me and my friends have gotten really wealthy doing this one thing. There's just one little thing. Oh, son of a bitch.
Oh man, that was fun. Poor Tony. Poor T-Rob. That wasn't to pick on Tony Robbins. I know a lot of people get a lot of stuff out of Tony Robbins, a lot of good stuff, a lot of good motivation. A lot of people turn their lives around listening to Tony Robbins. I know I got a lot out of him when I first was starting out, but I just wanted to use him because he is a well-known guru and just as an example of what we're going to talk about today, which is there is not one way to make it in your career. You might hear this from a lot of people. You might see it online. You might hear gurus and coaches and people telling you, you got to do this one thing.
You got to do this one thing and you'll get there.
No, you don't have to do one thing. You can go your own way. You can go your own way. Yeah, just like Fleetwood Mac. Listen to Fleetwood Mac. They're the only coach that you really need. But I just wanted to talk about this because it's very easy to slip back into kind of a mentality of doubt and self-doubt, especially living in today's world with social media, with socials, and seeing everybody else doing their thing, doing that thing, kicking ass, the highlight reel, getting into this show, getting this grant, making this sale to this celebrity, blah, blah, blah. We've talked about this a little bit before, but I want to talk about it with a little bit more nuance because it's very important. It's very easy to get down upon yourself or to question yourself or to question your own path because you see somebody else doing something that's effective, right? And you go, oh, well, they seem to be doing well. And maybe they're even preaching about the way that they made it or the way that they have been able to kind of turn the corner and become a professional artist or make some sales, consistent sales, or get into this gallery and start doing a bunch of shows. Maybe they're just kind of feeling good about themselves and thinking that it's a one-size-fits-all path. And you know what? I'm here to tell you it's not. I've taken a lot of different paths in my 20 years of experience trying to do this and doing this and becoming my own professional artist and making a living out of my own art. Some things even still to this day don't work or used to work and don't work anymore or have had to pivot or the climate has changed. It's become more of an online market or NFTs have come in or whatever you want to say. You've got to be able to pivot. You've got to be able to make your own path and discover your own path and always be adjusting that, figuring out what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and what works for other people that might work for you and what works for other people that won't work for you at all. Like if somebody's preaching that the only way to do this is to do trade shows or to do farmers markets or to do like a street fair, right? Like somebody makes a big killing in their art and doing street fairs. Well, I know for me, for example, that doesn't work for me. It can work. I could work it a little bit more and, kind of probably push some more work and some smaller work and some more specialized work and make some money doing that. But the amount of effort that I'm going to put into that to get the payoff, the ROI, is not really worth it for me. I've found with my path that a lot of it needs to be focused online. Now, I've done hundreds of shows. I've done a lot of shows. I've been represented by galleries. I have been in numerous pop-up shows. I've been in celebrity shows, benefits, like random stuff, you name it, like the Obama gig, the David Lynch thing. I was a raw artist. I did everything. And I've just found over time that those things are all fun for me, and I like to do them still from time to time. And if a good example presents itself or a good opportunity presents itself, I will jump at that. But it's not where my bread and butter lies, at least at this point. Now, that could always change. That could always shift. And I'm always looking for new opportunities and ways to say yes to different things. But as of right now, as of the past 7 years, my bread and butter has been in online sales. I've made, over 500 sales. I've been in over 450 private collections in 24 plus countries. And that's just really worked for me. And I would have never been able to do that had I focused on some of these other routes or gotten a little bogged down in what is working for other people and, trying to apply that to myself. Now, you need to try some of these things when you're starting out to go, what does work? What doesn't work? Oh, this kind of worked. Maybe I can apply a little bit of this towards this. It gives you some ideas. I challenge you and I recommend very heavily trying a lot of different paths, trying different gurus, trying different coaches, getting as much information as you can, and then testing that out in your own life and in your own path and seeing what works for you. And I think over time, you will see and be able to whittle down some of the things and go, okay, this is where I make 70% of my sales. This is the kind of work that I do that reaches 70% of my collectors. This is what resonates with most people. This is what I feel the most positive and turned on by doing in my own career. Maybe it's screw what other people think or what other people want to collect. Maybe this is just something that you want to do for yourself, and that's a conclusion that you've come to. That's also fine. But really, I just want to reiterate and put out this warning to not be too, overtaken by other people's perspectives and paths, and especially on social media. Like, I can go on Instagram right now and find 10 artists that I follow all the time that I really like their work that will leave me doubting myself in some way, shape, or form. Like, oh man, yeah, I haven't been doing enough shows, or I really should try to do that. Oh, you know what? I haven't tried that online resource. Or, you know what? I should try packaging this other way, or whatever, you name it. These are all just random examples off the top of my head, but I can come out of it going like, man, maybe I should be doing more of this. And then all I have to do is take a deep breath, a deep conscious breath, and just go, is that true? Is this all true? Do I really need to do that? Would that really work for me the same way? Some of these people are in different countries. They've got completely different styles of work. They're at a different age range. They have different connections. They've got a different audience. They've got so many different variables that it would just be kind of absurd for me to go, oh yeah, I'll just plug that into my life and it'll work exactly the same. It doesn't work that way. So that's important to just remember. And it's important to remember when you're going online, when you're going to social media, to check out other people's stuff and, really be kind of supportive and happy for what they're doing or what works for them, while also knowing that that might not work for you. And that's okay. You can be happy for another artist and for what they're doing, what's effective for them, and not feel that kind of jealousy or FOMO or whatever. I'm missing out. I'm not doing it the same way. That's okay. Everybody's path is different. And I always find, it's weird. I'm listening to this David Bowie channel on SiriusXM right now. They've got like a David Bowie channel for a limited time, and it's really inspiring to me. And I've always loved David Bowie. He's always been one of my favorite artists, and he's, somebody that kind of influences me and inspires me in so many different ways, from a performance, from a fashion, from a spiritual, musical, even like gender role standpoint. He's just done everything, and he's always been a trendsetter. And what would David Bowie have been like if he had just followed other paths, other people who had gone, well, this is what works. Like, I'm going to follow the Bee Gees route, and you would have a very different David Bowie. He was true to himself. He figured out himself, and then he just kind of paved this way and figured out what worked for him. And a lot of stuff didn't work for him right away. It took him a while to find his own voice and to kind of hone his musical style. And that shifted and adapted, like I was saying earlier on, many times, like between the Ziggy Stardust to the Duke to all these different personas that he kind of wore along the way and as he evolved. He was not afraid to be a trendsetter. He was not afraid to follow his own path, and he was not afraid to change his course when he realized he needed to or he wanted to. He was not bound by anything. And that's kind of what I'm talking about right now, is just having the boldness and audacity to forge your own path and to be the artist that you truly want to be. And you know what? If certain opportunities are available to other artists and they're not available to you, make your own opportunities. I know I've done that many times in my own life, and those things will come around. If you really give it like a 20, 30, 40-year span, like lifespan of being an artist, each person is going to find some success at different times or different points on that timeline. So seeing somebody else succeed a little bit faster than you should not be discouraging. It should just be like, well, good for them. Mine's coming down the road, or mine's coming tomorrow, or whatever, 5 years from now. And just keep doing what you're doing, keep honing your craft, and keep figuring out what works for you. But definitely do not be too persuaded by the one-size-fits-all approach, or the one true guide to success by fill-in-the-blank guru over here. And again, try out a lot of coaches and gurus and find out, just pick and choose little pieces. Take little bits from here, take little bits from this philosophy, take little bits from this kind of approach and apply those to your life, and then construct your own little amalgamation of all those and, become your own person, become your own artist that forges a new path, a new exciting path that everybody else will be trying to follow.
Did I hear my name? What can I do for you, young man?
Oh, no. Thanks, Tony. I just was mentioning you as a resource for people to use.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Do you hear that?
Oh, yeah, the motivational music?
Yes, indeed. That means I'm needed somewhere. It's been a pleasure.
All right, no worries. Go get him, T-Rob. And just like that, we've come to the end of another episode. Thanks for listening, everybody. I hope you found it inspirational. Keep focused on what you got to do and your own path, and everything will be fine. We'll see you next time. Got a great interview coming up for you. Take care. This has been the Living Artist Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I just want you to know that I appreciate you being here, and I'm grateful to be in your ears. Your art and creative life on this planet is meaningful, so thank you for sharing it with me. If you like this podcast, whatever platform you're listening to it on, please subscribe and share it with your friends. You can also leave me a positive review to show your support. This helps me to reach more people with the algorithmic magic and keep the show going strong. If you want to see more of what I do and check out the art that I create, you can visit my website at www.pmsartwork.com or follow me on social media everywhere at PMS Artwork. That's it for now. See you back here next time.